Hatchlings, it's DragonFeather and welcome back to the channel, and today we are here for the day 4 of the 31 days of Samhain, and for today I wanted to teach you guys a little bit about the history of Samhain and Halloween, and kind of how this magical, mystical, spooky holiday came to be. If you are interested in learning more than what I will provide for you today in this video, I recommend clicking the link below. That'll take you to a post in the Hatchling Clan made by one of the Hatchlings that will go more in depth for the history of Samhain and Halloween. Originally, Samhain was celebrated between October 30th and November 1st and originated with the Celts some 2,000 years ago, although it was believed to originate and date back as early as 5 BC, so it's quite an ancient holiday, and it has been celebrated for a very long time, and is definitely something that's rooted in human history, especially for the British Isles and Celtic people. It's also considered the Celtic New Year and the end of summer, and this particular holiday kind of marked the start of winter. And Samhain actually translates to November when it's mostly associated with October. It's more so commonly celebrated on October 31st these days, but traditionally was celebrated on November 1st as well. Also the third harvest festival of the Wheel of the Year. This was also a festival of the dead, so it was a common time to commune with past loved ones, ancestors, the spirit world, any sort of thing like that, because the veil is at its thinnest during this time, which we will get into a little bit later in the video. For Celts and the Celtic people, this was the most important holiday of the year, as it is the new year. Celebrations were more so focused during this time of the year rather than any other time. And I just find that really interesting because I find that this time is really, really important to me and is my favorite time of year, and most of my heritage is Celtic, so I just found that interesting. A lot of the pronunciations of Samhain are pretty confusing because it's spelled S-A-M-H-A-I-N, and some people even say Samhain, but it's commonly pronounced Samhain, Samhain, Sowin, Sawin, Saween. It's just like all over the place. It's not pronounced how it's spelled, so just so you know. Traditionally, Samhain wasn't called Samhain. It was actually called, if I'm pronouncing this right, Mina Samhana? I might be pronouncing that wrong, but for more information on that, you can check the post in the Hatchling Clan. There's many different pronunciations, and the name kind of changed throughout history, but now it's more commonly called Samhain. So I bet you guys are all wondering where Halloween came from, huh? I'm giving you a lot of info about Samhain, but what about Halloween? How did we go from Samhain to Halloween? So the term Halloween actually came from when Christians were trying to convert Celtic people to Christianity. And a common thing that the Christian people would do is they would take traditional pagan holidays and make their holidays on the same days that pagan holidays were. This is common for Christmas as well as Easter. I wanted to read this from the post in the Hatchling Clan because it's quite interesting. It says, in 601 AD, Pope Gregory I told his missionaries that instead of destroying the pagan beliefs, traditions, and followers, use their beliefs to convert them into Christianity. In 835 AD, All Saints' Day, originally celebrated on May 13th, was moved to November 1st in an attempt to overrule Samhain. This holiday was also known as Feast of All Saints or All Hallows Day, hallows meaning sacred, holy, or blessed person, aka saint. The fact that they tried to overrun Samhain by creating a different day, that's kind of where Hallows comes. So that's where like the beginning of Halloween kind of started to play in. So after they tried All Souls Day and that didn't work, they kind of went back to All Hallows Eve and All Hallows Day because this was still trying to celebrate the saints. And now Halloween roughly translates to Evening of the Saints. So Halloween is a Christian-derived celebration of Samhain, where Samhain is the original celebration from Celtic people, ancient times, ancient celebrations of the dead. This was also a time for fire festivals, and traditionally we would let our fires, our hearths burn out at this time, and we would have great bonfires and celebrations in honor of the dead. Prayers and offerings were made based on needs that the people had at this time, because winter is coming now, and this was usually the hardest season to get through. It was also common for people to leave offerings outside of their doors for wandering fairies and spirits, and the whole dressing up came from people dressing up to not get kidnapped by wandering fairies, malicious fairies, and other spirits. So when you dress up for Halloween, you're really dressing up so evil little fairies don't steal you away. It's not for candy, guys, but the candy's nice. So during this time of year, because winter is right around the corner, it was often believed that many mythical creatures were running around wherever they wanted to in the mundane world, more so than they normally do. This brought death, transition, reflection, and all of these darker themes for winter. And because of this, we wanted to commune with them. We want to connect with them at this time, for it is the easiest to do so when the veil is at its thinnest. So the reason why we say the veil is thinning at this time is because the veil is the separation between our world that we live in now and where our dead go, and where the dead and other spirits are, and the mythical folk like fairies and dragons and all of that. During this time they would roam around, and to keep spirits at bay we would often leave offerings of food and wine out on our doorsteps to keep them away, and bury apples as offering, for apples were seen as the fruit of the dead. And for those who were extra generous, they would go along roads and bury apples for those who may not have had family to honor them or to offer them anything. And people would keep the spirits at bay by wearing masks and costumes to disguise themselves as spirits so they wouldn't be bothered by the ones that were roaming around at this time. Because the veil is so thin, this is also such a powerful time for divination work. But be careful when you do divination, because you don't want to conjure anything that you cannot banish or handle. So please take the proper precautions when you do divination during this time of year. That's about all I'm going to go over with you guys in this video, but there is much more in-depth information about the history of Halloween in the Hatchling Clan post. If you want to learn more about bonfires and fairies, if you want to learn more about the Christian influences in All Hallows Eve and All Hallows Day, then please click the link below and come join us over there for our 31 Days of Samhain celebration to learn more about the history of Halloween and to see what other challenges we have in the days to come. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I kind of lost my light, but I kind of feel like it adds a spooky effect. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, until next time, have a great day. Stay geeky, cheeky, and freaky, little hatchlings, but blessed be, and bye.
And it's funny that you think that I'm different when we're both made of water.